Presenting Adopted by God by Antoine Wright Sr. He wants you to know that God will give you peace if you just put your trust in Him.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ain't God been good? Amen. I know He's been good to me. Amen. I know He's been good to you because you're looking at me or you listen to me. I know that God's been good to you. Amen. You ought to give God the honor. You ought to give Him the praise. You ought to be thankful as everything that God has done. He has blessed us, be able to see another day. You ought to give Him honor. You ought to give Him the praise. Amen. You ought to thank God for allowing you to see the day, amen. It wasn't your alarm clock, amen, going off. It wasn't the dog barking outside. It wasn't your phone notification going off. It wasn't your kid got up out of bed early and make so much noise that woke you out of bed. It's because of God touch you and allow you to be able to see another day. You ought to be thankful. You ought to be thankful that God lies. Yes, my name is Antoine Wright, amen. I got a podcast here called Adopted by God, amen. And my mission and my goal and my objective for day by day is to help you to be able to find peace. And then when you find that peace, I want you to be able to hold on to that peace, because I'm going to tell you right now that peace is going to help you through everything you need. That peace, we all need peace. We need peace of mind. We need peace at our home. We need peace at our job. We need peace wherever we go. We need a peace of mind. We need a peace with God. We need peace with others. We need that peace. So wherever we go, we need peace. Wherever we stand at, we need that peace. Amen. But in order for you to be able to have that peace, and what we've been talking about this week, we have to what? Put our trust in God. God will give you peace. All you have to do is put your trust in Him. If you want peace, then all you have to do is put your trust in God. We're talking about this week. We're talking about trusting in God. Trusting in God. Amen. Trusting in God. But when you talk about trusting in God, you gotta first identify what the word trust is. Trust, you know what I'm saying, in biblical terms, is bold or confident or security. You have to think about it right here. Don't you know that you are secure in the hands of God? That's the thing about it. When you trust God, you know that God is all in God's hands. When you trust God, you trust in God's plan, you trust in His purpose, you trust in everything that I do with God. You trust in Him. You trust in the wisdom. You trust everything that comes from God. Amen. You ain't trusting in everything that comes from man. You are trusting in everything that comes from God. I want to be able now. I think about it. I need to think about the Bible, the Bible. We think about Isaiah 26:3, my bad, 26:3, said, Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because what? He trusted in thee. The thing about it is, it's just because you trust in God, and your mind is stayed on God, that God will what? Give you what? Perfect what? Peace. Amen. If you want peace, that means you have the trust in God and have your mind on God, so God can be able to give you that everlasting, give you that perfect peace. Think about it. When God give it to you, nobody can be able to take it away from you. All you have to do is keep a hold to it. If you want to keep a hold to it, keep trusting in God and keep your mind on God, and nobody can be able to take that peace away from you. And think about it right here. Think about it. Now, there's something you got to think about. Peace is something that you can be able to hold on to. But think about it, all way you get rid of if you allow somebody, or you allow something to happen, or you allow a trial, tribulation, what's going on, to mess you up, to conflict your mind and take your focus off God, and then all of a sudden you lose that peace with God. Then you lose that peace. But now you gotta sit right here and figure out the step-by-step process in order for you to get that peace back again. If you want to get that peace, if you want to keep that peace, then you need to what? Keep your trust in God and keep your mind on thee, amen. And God will keep on, and He will give you that peace. Now all of a sudden He will then you can be able to hold on that peace forever. Amen. Think about it. When you're talking about trust, amen, you think about Proverbs 3 and 5 when it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your understanding. So when you trust, when you trust in God, you're not trusting in your own self. You're not trusting in your own plans. You're not trusting in the world of things. You're not trusting in the word of wisdom. You're not trusting in the word of advice. Well, you get all of your trust in God because you trust God's plan. You trust His purpose for us. You trust His wisdom. You trust everything that comes from God because what you trust Him. Amen. And now we started last time. I asked the question, how can I? Now it's come personal now. When you're talking about trusting in God, is that how can I learn to trust God? You have to be able now to think about it now. It's a personal thing because you gotta say, how can I? Now think about it right here is that I can be able to say I trust him. But think about it is that you have to trust God for your own self. I trust God, but I want you to trust God for your own self. You gotta trust God that God is gonna make everything all right. You gotta trust God that your plan will be fulfilled. You gotta trust God that He's gonna keep on blessing you. You gotta put your trust in God when things are not going well, when things are not going when all hell and break loose. You have to work continually to trust God. Thing of it is, right here, I talk about how you can learn. Then I want to give you three reasons now. The three reasons why we should trust God. And the thing about it right here is that now, in order for you to be able now to put your trust in God, you have to understand why should we trust in God in the first place. You have to know the reason why. I'm going to give you three reasons. I'll talk about the first reason is because He is worthy of our trust. You have to know that God is worthy because what? Because God, He never lied to us. He never failed to fulfill His promise. The thing about it, God is not man that a man would lie. No, He's the Son of Man, amen, that He would change His mind. The thing about it right here is that whatever God said, He gonna do with it. Whatever God said He gonna do, He gonna do with it. And everything that God said He gonna do with it, He gonna do it. If you want to live in God's promises, you have to trust in God. You have to keep your mind on Him. If you want to be able now, think about it right here, is that in order for you to be able now to learn how to trust God, you have to know why. And one of the reasons why is that He is worthy of our trust. He is most worthy of our trust. Through thick and thin, anytime that God said He's going to do it, God said, if you ask in my name, if you ask me, I will answer your prayers. He said, I know the plans for you. I know your thoughts or whatever. Like He told Jeremiah, I knew you when you was in when you was in your mother's womb. God knew you already. God already know you. But you have to put your trust in Him. God already knows your plan. God already knows what you're going through. If it wasn't for God, He allowed it to happen in the first place. But you have to trust in God and His plan and His purpose for you. You have to continually to keep your trust in God because God will do anything but fail. If God said He gonna do it, I know He gonna do it because I trust God. Through it all, I put all of my trust in Him. I put all my understanding. I put my planning. I put this podcast. I put everything I have. I put it in the hands of God because I trust God that He's gonna make everything all right. I trust God if I do His will, if I put my trust in Him, if I keep my mind on Him, I know that everything will be. I know He's gonna move this podcast in a mighty special way. It's because what? Because my faith and my trust in God. Think about it is, unlike men, now God has the power now. God has the power to bring pass on what he planned and all of his purpose, amen, to do for us, amen. And everything that God has planned for us, God can be able to have the power to push it on through, amen. Think about it is this right here. You have to be able to know, amen, to know him, to know God is to trust him. If you know God, then you're going to trust him. If we endure, if we know God through his word, we will see that he is worthy of our trust. And our trust in him will grow daily. Amen. Think of it right here. Now the thing of it is, now I want to talk about the second thing. Now the second reason is that we can learn to trust God is to see how he had proven himself worthy. I think about it. You got to think about it now. Now, in order for now, second reason is that when you learn how to, we see how he had proven himself to be trustworthy in our lives and the lives of others. Don't you know that when you see God bless somebody else, when you see God heal somebody else, when you see God made a way for somebody else, then think about it, you ought to put your trust in God, because if God did it for you, I know he can do it for me. If God did it for me, I know he can do it for you. If God healed me, he can heal you. If God can push me on through the storm, I know God can push you through. If God give me strength to keep on going, he will give you strength. But we have to put our trust in him. If you look at 1 Kings 8:56, it said, praise be to the Lord who has given rest to his people of Israel, just as he promised. Everything that he promised to Israel, he would. It was fulfilled. But the thing of it is right here is that Israel didn't always do what they supposed to be doing. But any time that Israel called on God, God came to the rescue. Even though we messed up, even though we got beside ourselves, even though Israel got beside themselves, even though they start serving other God, but whenever the enemy came up, when they came to realize who God is, when they call on God, then all of a sudden, what God came in the rescue. You have to know right here that the record of God promises is that there is in his word for all of us to see, and has it record of their fulfillment. The thing about it is, throughout time and time again, throughout all the events that happened in the Bible, God have fulfilled his promise. Think about it. Every Christian, amen, right? And every Christian can give a personal testimony to God trustworthy, as we see his work in our lives, fulfilling his promise to save our soul, and using us for what? For his purpose. The thing of it is right here, and the thing of it is you think about, and to comfort us with the peace that passes all understanding as we run this race he has planned out for us. Amen. Think of it as you have. Think about it. Think about what Hebrews 12:1 it said. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin we do so easy beset us, and let us run with patience. Amen. The race that is set before us. Thing about it is, the more we experience his grace, the more we experience his faithfulness, the more that we experience his goodness, the more what we can trust God. Amen. You think about 100. I'm gonna leave you with 100 for 100 number song. People say, "For the Lord is good, and his mercy is everlasting, and his truth what endure to all generations." The more we experience God's grace, the more we experience God's faithfulness, all the time, the more we experience God's goodness, amen, the more we can be able to keep on and continually put our trust in God. I'm here to tell you right now, I want to encourage you now, right now, is that to continually put your trust in God. If you want to know how to trust God, all you have to do, all you have to do, two reasons, y'all know that He is worthy. And then think about it, you have to see the proof, amen, to what God have done in everybody else's life, and look back at what God have done for you over your life. Then that ought to help you what? To put your trust in God. I'm here to encourage you now, continually, to keep putting your trust in God. Thank you, and God bless you.